If you and I heard the truth, could we handle it? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3, a Torah portion, HaAzinu. We're in Devarim, Deuteronomy, if you will, chapter number 32, and let's look at verse 2. Let my instruction fall as rain, my speech drop down as dew, as fine rain on the tender plants and as showers on the grass. There is a connection here that Moshe is making between instructions, that is, doctrines that may come across to us as heavy rain, and then to those that are incapable of handling a heavy shower of instruction or doctrine, but rather are at the beginning stages of understanding the Torah and its intricacies. Maybe they're dining on the little golden nuggets that we like to offer, that excite folks to want to even study the Torah, looking away from it as a legalistic, constricting document, finding out that it is Yah's law of liberty, that it is the declaration of his boundaries within which we are free to live with joy and great expectation. So there is a difference then in the type of instruction or words according to the targeted audience. Even in these 10-minute Torahs, I am trying to hit a broad spectrum between those that are well seasoned, that have been walking with Messiah for a long period of time, and those that are just getting started. Not everybody in the 10-minute Torah audience is actually Hebrew roots. There are some that are otherwise situated. Maybe they're in church, maybe they're over on the other side and over into Judaism. I don't know. Perhaps there's even some that have no affiliation whatsoever. Whoever you are and however you got connected to these videos, thank you for watching. So again, the instructions, the words that come like heavy rain, the words that are soft like dew. Let's go with the second one first. If we hand someone too much Torah at one time, they can choke, they can drown, they can become overwhelmed. And it's not that we're trying to be a marketing agent where we give someone and seduce them into the study of the Torah. That's not it at all. It's out of the question. The idea is, though, that there are grades of Torah learning. You don't start a 6 or 7-year-old with calculus. There is a need of helping them to count blocks. How many apples do you see? How far can you count? Can you count by 5s or 10s, etc.? We teach them the basic rules of math, and then we began to bring them along into where they're seasoned enough that they can handle putting the alphabet in math. I never understood that. So again, with the word of the Torah, we have to give people the word at the level with which they are capable of receiving. There is the need at times to stretch. There are times that I will intentionally try to teach, if possible, if I know that I have the ability to do so, teach a little bit over someone's head. Not greatly so. No one's trying to show off any Torah knowledge here. But if I know that my audience is at a certain level and I can teach at a higher level, I will sometimes start pushing the ceiling a little bit to get them to stretch, because it's in the stretching that you grow, that you mature. You have to be challenged sometimes. But it is an incredible moment when the light bulb goes on and their eyes open up and you realize they just got it. Those are the incredible moments, the most rewarding moments. Well, let's also understand that we're dealing with heavy rains at times. There are those of us that the ground that we have planted in is good ground. And the plants that we have planted are good quality plants. And sometimes a storm comes. If the tree or the vegetation is well planted, well rooted, then a storm with winds and high rains can actually cause the roots to dig deeper into the soil, and the end result is a storm-hardened plant that knows how to endure. Some of us are what we would call battle-hardened. In the annals of military history, there are situations where a particular commander on one army would look across and see who his opponent would be. And he would recognize from his knowledge of the history of those particular units, the green troops, they may panic and run in the face of a fierce attack, or these are battle-hardened troops. He has knowledge that they've been through many battles, they've endured, they know how to function. They're not going to run or to flee, but they're going to dig in and they're going to tenaciously fight. So then your mode of attack or defense would be determined by who your opponent is. Many of us have become battle-hardened. We've been through those seasons where the attack of our adversary was fierce, and we dug deep into what we knew to be true. We cried out fiercely in prayer. We laid the lay me down to sleep and prayer over food type manners aside. We put on the whole armor, and we went digging deep into the Word, and we dug into the trench of prayer. And we held fast, we prayed in the Spirit, we gained discernment, answers came, and our adversaries were defeated. You don't know who you are until you've been pushed and stressed and tested. But having experienced that and knowing that Yah sees you through that and brings you out on the other side, there is this keen awareness that you just don't shake. We are looking for battle-hardened prayer warriors in the hour that we're now living. People who don't quit. That when the blows of the adversary are landed, that we don't back up, we don't get down on our knees to surrender. We put on the whole armor and we stand our ground and we fight back. Don't mess with me when I know who answers my prayers. Don't mess with that old saint of Elohim who's already fought tooth and toenail and come out on the other side. I think of Bernice Roberts, a mountain woman who lived in a cold town, whose husband was an alcoholic, whose husband tore up her Bibles and shot at her when she went to church. I thought I was doing something by going into the sanctuary of the church that I pastored at that time. It's 5:36 in the morning, turning on the lights, and her gray head would pipe up from the front pew. She'd meet me in the middle of the aisle and say, "Come on in, preacher. I've already got it warmed up for you, and the devil's on the run." Bernice Roberts, you didn't mess with her. She'd pray, and her God would hear her. And I'm thinking about other saints of Elohim who have persevered, who have overcome. Don't mess with them. They know how to withstand the heavy instructions. They know the hunger that comes from, I have confidence in my relationship with the Most High. He can trust me with a heavy word. He can give me a prophecy that is not pleasant. He can give me a discernment that I don't want to discern or don't like the subject matter of, but he can trust me because I've been through the battles and I know how to handle it. We're looking for such people. Yah has truth that's going to be heavy to handle, and battle situations going to be hard to endure. But you and I will stand to the test. We will stand straight up. We will hear from Yah. We will walk in truth. We will have an answer. More tomorrow. We'll see you then. Until then, shalom.